All right, Bucs Nation, Bucs fans around the world. I don't know why I said it like that. That was really dumb. Please don't turn this video off because you realize I was an idiot. Hey, if you are new to this channel, me and my buddy Chris, we are Lions fans, but we love the NFL. We love talking about teams that don't necessarily get the love and notoriety that they always should. And here I am talking to you about an unexpected boost that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just received, an unexpected one. And yes, I could do all the ones you already know, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about a different one that comes down to seeding and a boost that they got that could make their first round playoff matchup much, much better and much worse for my Detroit Lions. So there's a couple of those things that are a good boost. I'm not going to talk about all that stuff, but here's my question. Coming off just a thrashing victory, how and what is your confidence level in this Tampa Bay team? Do you feel like this is a scary team? Because I feel like there's a lot of teams that don't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. I really, really do. And as a Lions fans, I am one of them. I would not love to see Tampa Bay. But at the same time, there is a couple of teams I would hate to see even more. But Tampa Bay is pretty darn good. So give me your confidence level. Is this a one and done? Like, are they getting into the playoffs and losing in the wild card round? Do you think they make the divisional round, the NFC Championship? Do you think they make the Super Bowl? Do you think they win the Super Bowl? Let me know what your thoughts are and your confidence level. There has to be a level of confidence in what Baker Mayfield's doing, the way in which you played the Lions last year in the playoffs, and then how you have withstood just an onslaught of injuries and adversity this year to once again put yourself in position where you win against a bad Saints team, and you're in the playoffs. That's really awesome. So what is this unexpected good news? All right, there's some stuff that's unique, and I pulled this off of a website, but I was thinking to myself, like, I actually had to search for this because I wanted to know. And what I want to talk about here is, yes, you had a path to the playoffs eliminated, but now you win, you're in because you're winning the division. You'd much rather have the division win than the wild card win, right? That you'd rather get into the playoffs as a division leader. And that's the way the NFL playoffs work, right? But here's what's interesting, and then we'll get into all this. The Tampa Bay could still move up a spot in the overall conference seeding if it wins and the Rams lose to the Seattle Seahawks. So you could actually end up being the 3 seed. So let's talk about why that's so good. There's no head-to-head between the two of you, so it goes to record against conference opponents. The Buccaneers would finish 8-4 in the conference, while the Rams would finish 6-6. So why is this such good news? Well, sitting in this 5 spot, which is who you would play, who you would very, very likely play is either Minnesota or Detroit. So here's the way I look at it. Would you rather be playing a 14-3 Detroit or a 14-3 Minnesota? Or would you rather be playing the Commanders or possibly the Green Bay Packers, of which that team would likely be 12-5? What would you rather play? I personally would much rather play a young Washington Commander team, or I would much rather play, and I can show it to you this way. It's a little cleaner over here. I would much rather play a young Commanders team or a young Packers team than I would play a red-hot Vikings team and a just lethal offensive machine with the Detroit Lions. How do you get that, and why am I saying you have a spot? This is the unexpected good news. I'm sorry it took me so long to get into it. The LA Rams have announced that they plan to sit Matthew Stafford and the starters, the majority of the starters, because you only have so many players on a football team, in their final game against the Seattle Seahawks. They are planning to sit starters, meaning that it makes it even more likely that the Rams will win. Even more unlikely that the Rams will win. So if the Bucs beat a horrible New Orleans Saints team at this point in the year, horrible. All right, first 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks of the year, not horrible. Last, yeah, they're bad. All right, if you win, they lose, you are the new 3 seed. And that means you are playing whoever is the 6 seed. And that is locked in as either Washington or Green Bay. If both Washington and Green Bay win, it's Washington. The only way it's Green Bay is if Green Bay wins and Washington loses. That's the only way that happens. Washington has the Cowboys and Green Bay has the Bears. All right? And there is talk about Green Bay sitting their starters. There is talk about Green Bay sitting their starters as well as I'm filming this. So the unexpected good news, and I have even more for you, that's one of them. All right, that is unexpected good news. The other unexpected good news is exactly what I talked about before your games this weekend. And I talked about the Atlanta Falcons, who we actually cover quite a bit at this channel. And this is not a knock on the Atlanta Falcons, but what I said was mediocre teams find a way to lose when they need to win. Right? Like, that's what mediocre teams do. And I think that everybody was wondering last year, and everybody was wondering this year, is Tampa or Atlanta, are they a good team or are they a mediocre team? And Tampa has shown that they are good and that they have been here before, and Atlanta has shown we're not there yet. So I think they're on their way. I think this division is going to be a much better battle, even though it's been a battle this year. I think it'll be a higher quality battle. I don't think both teams are going to be trying to win the division at 10-7. I think it's going to take an 11-6. I think it's going to take a 12-5, a 13-4 type run in order to win this division next year, because I don't think you are going to have the lack of talent or lack of quarterback play for the Falcons that you did this year. I just don't think you are. And so those are all kind of the things that I think about. So let's talk about the Bucs. Here's another boost. I'm not a big sports betting guy. I'm just not. I could say bet responsibly, but like, it's not a thing. Fantasy football is about as far as I go when it comes to betting. I might throw like $5 here and there somewhere. Like if I see it, like I think I threw $5 on the Bengals like 3 weeks ago because their chances of making the playoffs were so small. I just threw it on them to win the Super Bowl, because then it's like I can lose $5, but I could make 500. Because their chances were so far out, which I thought was good. So that's how I like to lose my money when I gamble. But the Bucs open as a 13.5 point spread. That's crazy. That is a huge, huge spread in the NFL. And so basically what that means is like, okay, they are going to win this game. Like anything can happen. It's the NFL. I understand that. I understand you're coming into it. This has been a season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where anything has happened, whether it's injuries, whether it's winning games that you didn't think you would, whether it's losing games that you didn't think you would. It's been all over the place. But to be a 13.5 point favorite, like, you rarely see that line in the NFL. And it only happens when you have a really good team playing a really bad team. So, and Vegas usually understands what they're doing. They're pretty darn close. They really are, especially when it comes to the NFL. Everything is so dialed in. And then even more so when it comes to division games, because they know each other so well. So feel confident, Bucs fans. I hope that nothing bad happens, and I hope that for your sake you can get to the 3 seed. I don't know if it's for my sake. Look, here's the deal. For the Detroit Lions, we beat the Rams in the playoffs, and we beat you in the playoffs. I know, I'm sorry. This year, the first 2 weeks of the NFL season were the Rams and you. We beat the Rams, and then we lost to you. I don't want to see the Rams. Like, I don't. I think you have a better football team than the Rams, but it's just a personal matchup of, like, they hate us. It's our former quarterback going into their house, so, like, we need to beat the Vikings. Anyways, that's all I got. That's all I want to talk about. This is a Bucs video. All right, I told you I was going to give you an honest assessment of what's going on. How confident are you? How confident are you in this team? Thanks for watching. And hey, you could even move up another spot in the seating. See ya.